Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got in another flashlight to take a look at. This one's coming from Speras and the model is the SH16. This is a really compact right angle headlamp, but it can also be used as a handheld. It's got really good performance numbers and it can use multiple battery types. So I'm pretty excited to test this one out. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications. We'll go over the user interface. I'll give you guys some beam shots and then give some opinions on it. So as you can see, our max output's going to be 1650 lumens. And again, it's probably about the size of your thumb or so. A beam distance of 355 meters. It's going to be USB-C rechargeable. IP68 water resistance. Show you some of the stuff back here. I won't read all of it, but looks like they're using an SFT40. Here's our battery types that we can use: an 18350, a 16340, or a CR123A. 1.5 meter impact resistance. Looks like it's using some type of aluminum alloy, a 6061. It's got type 3 hard anodization. That just helps prevent scratches, scuffs, rust, corrosion, stuff like that. Alright, let's get into it and see how everything is packed and what all we get with it. So there is our A to C cable and a couple of spare O-rings in there. Here is our head strap. I'll show you that up closer in a minute. And it looks like we get a couple filters. There's going to be a red and a green filter, and I'll show you those later as well. So this head strap is going to have some reflective stuff on it. It is branded. I always appreciate that when a company does that. It's going to have like this grippy stuff on the inside so it doesn't like move around once it's on your head. And it's the kind where it goes around your head and over the top, so it should not move at all. And then this will be where it's like the real fast snap in and removal of your light itself. So here is the SH16. Like I said, yeah, about the size of a thumb. Got your logo up there, button up on top, charging port on the side. It does have a pocket clip. I assume we have to probably remove that to put it in the head strap. Let's see if it did include a battery. Yes, there's something in it. That comes with an 18350, 1100 milliamp hours. It has got their wrap on it. The manual is actually still down in the box, so I'll quickly show you that. Again, you can pause and read any of this stuff that you wish to. I always like showing these in case you get this light and then lose the manual. You can always come back to this video for reference. Looks like they have a 5-year warranty on this light. So this is a little bit unique. They have an insulation film down on the inside kind of here, and you have to actually unscrew it from here to get to this. There we go. So now that's out and we should be good to go. And having that film on the battery is not unusual. It was just unusual that it was up here and not at just the end of the battery. If you end up getting this light, I would recommend removing this clip before you even try screwing this back in. The clip kind of puts us at an angle where it's really difficult to kind of get this to line up right. So just basically pull that off before you even start, and then you can get that to line up and screw back in. Grab some dimensions on this guy. We're at basically 3 inches in length. This looks to be about the widest here, with a head diameter of right about 1 inch. There it is on top of a dollar bill. And there it is next to a tube of chapstick. Looking at a total weight with the battery of 2.7 ounces. So there are a few little cutouts out here to kind of reduce some of the heat. Got some grooves on the body and on the tail cap. Might be kind of hard to see, but there is that AR, that anti-reflective coating on that lens there. So we're going to have 5 modes of output. We're going to have an eco, low, medium, high, and turbo. And there's also going to be a strobe and an SOS on this little guy. So the operation of this light is very, very simple. If you want the eco, which is at 5 lumens, you literally just hit the button and it's on. You hit the button, it turns off. It's just that simple for eco. If you want the other modes, you just hold a little bit longer on the top. It's going to come on in the last used setting, which right now I think I have it on the low, which is 60 lumens. And then if you want to run up through the different outputs, you just hold down. You can see that's a little bit brighter there. That's the medium, 180 lumens. You can see we're going to have a really nice hot spot. We'll have to see what that looks like at night here in a bit, but we'll go through them again. So that's 400 lumens, and that's a lot of light, especially for a headlamp. And then let's see if we go into it goes back down. So maybe it's a double click to get to the turbo. Yeah, you can see that's a whole lot of light then. So yeah, it's just hold down to kind of cycle through them. So you got low, medium, high that it goes through. It'll be a double tap to get to turbo. And then again, if you want the eco, it's just a single little press there. Very simple. This is going to have some blinky modes, like I said earlier, the strobe and SOS. So if you are sensitive to that, you can look away for the next minute. You can actually get to the turbo and the strobe from on or off. It really doesn't matter. But if we're on, it's going to be a triple click from here. And that is your strobe pattern. And then if you want to go to the SOS, you just kind of hold down while it's in the strobe. And I actually think that there might be a beacon mode as well. It doesn't show it in the outputs, but I think it's there. So let's check it out. So the beacon will just flash and then pause, flash, pause, and just kind of repeat that. And then it would go back to the strobe again if we held down. So those are your 3 blinkies. So yeah, technically if the light were off, if you triple clicked, it would get you to the turbo because the first click turns it on and then the double click takes you to turbo. And if the light were off, if you quadruple click, it takes you into the strobe. So like it would be like this for the turbo. And that was from off. And again, this will be the blinky here. So if I'm off, if I basically quadruple click, it takes you to strobe from off. In the middle of our button up here is a little LED. And every time you turn the light on, it kind of gives you an indicator. Green means that we're somewhere between 100% and 70% as far as the battery charge. If it was orange, it'd be somewhere between 70 and 30. If it's red, it's somewhere between 30% and 5%. And if we turn it on as flashing red, we're under 5% and definitely need to be charged. These little filters have threads on them. And then this is actually threaded on the inside here. And so you basically just kind of line stuff up, thread that on. And now you got a really nice red headlamp. Or again, we can use green. So this SH16 does have a magnetic base, and it is super, super strong. And these little filters are actually made with like a metal frame on them, and you can actually just store them right on that magnet. It's kind of how it's designed. All right, let's check out a CR123A battery. Make sure that it's going to work and that all of our modes are still on there. So that's still our eco. Yeah, that still seems to be just about as bright as what it was with that lithium ion battery. That's very bright. So that's low, medium, high. See if we get the turbo. Does not look like that changes. So I think we only have 4 modes if you're using a CR123A. So we're going to have eco, low, medium, high. Again, if we want eco, it's just there. And then that's low, medium, high. If I double click, I do not get that turbo. Let me try to triple click. So again, if you're sensitive to that, look away. Yeah, we still get strobe. We still get the SOS. Beacon. So everything works except for the turbo, that 1650 lumens. You do not get that with the CR123A battery. I would assume that if you do have a 16340 that you will get that turbo setting because it's also 3.7 volts, just like the 18350 is. However, your CR123As are only 3 volts, so that's probably why. So if you have an external charger that you prefer to use, you can put this in that. I'm going to charge it up in the flashlight itself though, just to show you guys what it's like. Alright, we'll get this charged up here. Red means we're charging. Once it turns green, it'll be fully charged. While you're charging, you can use the eco setting, but you cannot get to any of the other outputs, I don't think. Yeah, just eco. Want to show you guys what it would look like in a pocket in case you choose to use it as a handheld. You do have probably a full inch sticking up out of your pocket. And if you want to use it as the headlamp, you do have to remove that pocket clip because these little kind of grooves right here is what this is going to snap into. So it's kind of going to be like this, and then you can rotate it to any position and it will definitely stay in place. And then it just slides right back out. But that right there is what kind of goes into these grooves and holds it in place. And you can snap this in either direction. So like right now it's kind of set up for like right-handed, but you can pop that out and flip it around and snap it in. Now it's set up for left hand. And again, these straps are adjustable, so if you got a big old giant head or a little skinny head, it should fit you. Alright, try to show you guys what this Speras looks like here in the dark. I'm going to start off on that kind of eco mode first. And again, I am recording with an iPhone. But as you can see, that does have a pretty decent hotspot even on eco. Kind of almost fills up that entire wall too with the flood on it. Alright, let's kind of run up through these. That's going to be our lowest setting. That's medium. You can really start to see that hot spot, but again, lots of flood. That's our high. We go up to the turbo. Wow. And we're going to do some of the strobe next, so if you are sensitive to flashes, you can look away. Alright, we'll see what this Speras looks like outside. It is definitely not the darkest of nights, but we'll still see what it looks like. I'm probably about 70 feet or so away from this tree line. And right now I've got it on the eco mode. Go up, that is low. Again, for something this small, It's got a lot of throw to it. That is the medium. Yeah, I'm very impressed with this beam on this. Up to the high next. And finally up to the turbo. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, something the size of your thumb that's throwing a light this far, and there's a lot of spill to it as well. And there I have it attached to the side of the car. You can see how helpful that would be if you needed to change a tire or something at night. And there I got the beacon going. Okay, that thing, you can see that, I'm sure a mile away. Well, hopefully seeing those night shots was somewhat helpful for you. So I've had this SH16 for a few weeks now and been using it quite a bit. And overall, I really like it. It's compact, it's really lightweight. You can tell that it just has really good build quality. You know, they're using that 6061 aluminum. It's got the hard anodization. Even the headband feels like it's just a little bit more of a premium material. I like that it can be a headlamp or a handheld flashlight, and how quick and easy it is to change between those. I like that it has a very user-friendly interface, and it has the multiple modes like the eco, low, medium, high turbo, strobe, SOS beacon. A lot of headlamps don't have that. I was really impressed with the performance. That SFT40.2 LED that they're using definitely is a thrower. You know, there is some spill, especially on the higher levels, but it's for sure a thrower. One thing I did want to let you guys know is that when I ran it on the turbo, I didn't really notice a whole lot of step down until after about 2 minutes, and then it was a pretty sharp kind of step down or decline. I don't have any way of measuring it, but I'd say it was probably about a fourth of what it started off at. So I'm going to guess around 400 lumens, but again, that's just a guess. But again, it maintains that 1600 plus lumens for close to 2 minutes. Very, very impressive. I do like that they include these red and green filters. Red is really good for preserving your night vision. Green is good for hunting. And I like how they screw in and they're really secure once you install it. I mentioned that the headband feels, you know, like it's premium. It's also very comfortable. And once you snap that light in place, it stays wherever it's at. Even if you're kind of jumping or kind of running or whatever, the light does not like move out of its position. And finally, I like that there is a battery level indicator. Every time you turn the light on, it stays on there for a few seconds. So a change that I would like to see maybe on a future model is to figure out a way that you can leave the pocket clip on and install it to the headband at the same time. I don't like having to take that off. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it or misplace it or whatever. Another thing I'll let you know is that when you're on some of the lower levels, there's still quite a bit of throw. So if you're trying to work on something that's kind of relatively close up, maybe you're trying to deal with the outlet in your house or something, there is quite a bit of like bounce back light. So I do wish that on the lower levels that maybe the light was just a little more diffused or spread out. And finally, I do like having these little filters on here, and I know that they recommend like just, you know, attaching it there. And if you put just one on there, it is very secure. It's not going to move. If you try storing the second one on it, they can fall off there kind of easily. I almost wish that there was a way that they could like integrate the colors kind of up here into the LED somehow, just so you don't have to take those filters with you. But overall, I think this is an absolutely fantastic little light and would highly recommend it. So at the time of me making this video, these lights are available on spearasflashlight.com. They're coming in around $70. But keep in mind that that does include the filters and the battery. But I'll leave a link to that down in the video description. If Spears were to provide me any type of discount code, I'll put that down there as well. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.